one member.
Why is
Braden.
that?
Man, Elijah is not here today. I'm Braden. That's Hayden. Braden and Hayden today.
Why is it's the Braden? Why is Elijah not here?
So I think Elijah's turning into a baby collector.
Ooh, he's collecting babies.
He's collecting babies. Okay. Elijah's had a beautiful little baby girl. Like what day was that?
I haven't met her yet, so maybe she's not beautiful.
She looks. I mean, we're sorry, Elijah.
Are we allowed to say her name on the podcast? Maddie Lou. That's her name.
Maddie Lou. Yeah. So if you didn't want us to say it on podcast, if you wanted to be the one that introduced her, Elijah, sorry. So that's how that's going. Technically, he is a baby collector though, because it's more than one. So he's got two now. He's collecting them.
Who do you think is the most successful baby collector of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know, man. There was that guy in Texas that documentary was about.
You think that? Ooh, what's that? Octomom, right?
She
had 8. Like 8 kids at one time.
There's got to be more than 8 though.
Yeah, like
what's his name? What was that? The Waco thing, back in like the 80s when the ATF raided that Waco thing.
Was that all his kids? All his? Well, I mean, if he's collected, it doesn't matter how he gets them, right?
Yeah,
as long as they're his.
They're his. Anyways, welcome in to the podcast. Yeah, so it'll just be the two of us for the time being. I don't know when Elijah's going to decide to come back since he's got like a year and a half old, and
he's got 2 kids.
Dude,
he's
we're
never
gonna see him.
We're gonna see him again.
We're never gonna see him. So it's just we might have to rebrand a little bit. We're gonna take him off the logo at the beginning. Yeah. Who knows? Anyways. Coronavirus is still a thing.
Yep, kind of. I guess, yeah. I mean, people are still getting infected. People are still dying. But, like, at this point, people are kind of like, well, it gets me.
Yeah.
See, or at least here. I know in, like, California, New York.
And we were trying to figure out things to talk about today. And normally we'll, like, start off with a lot of football stuff because we're big football fans. But there's just no new news.
I'm going to type in sports. See the first thing. Roger Federer ranked by Forbes as sports top earner at $106 million.
I'll take it.
Is that, like, ever? Because I feel like some of the soccer players get more money than that.
Well, I mean, Bryce Harper signed like a $354 million contract. Like,
so that's got to be like a year?
That's got to be a year.
Earner a year? Jeez, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot.
Where do you think he gets all that money from?
Yeah, who does? I mean, I guess
who pays
what is the tennis
team, it's him.
What is like the tennis league called? Like the something like
yeah, see, the other two were Lionel Messi and
I want to say it was like ATP,
Ronaldo.
but I'm pretty sure it's a video game.
Pre-tax by $1 million. So that means Ronaldo is at 105 million. Dang, dude.
I should have been an athlete.
Well, yeah, for real.
Like it's that easy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just make Microsoft like the new Microsoft. You'll make even more money.
I just need to make anything. Like I feel like if you make anything that can sell, you'll make money.
Well, I mean, like, doesn't Bill Gates donate like 90% of his money like every year, and then he just gets it all back the next year, and he's the second richest person.
Who was it? Is it Jeff Bezos that owns Amazon?
Yes.
It was we were talking about it one day. I think it was like he makes my salary in like I think like an hour or 10 minutes or something like that. Ugh. Every hour or every 10 minutes.
If he were to like
crazy.
buy something like a jet, he would make more money.
Well, hold on. Technically he only takes home 80,000, I think, from like I guess what he made his own salary at Amazon, but of course he's got more revenue.
Well, none of that's sitting in a bank. It's all in different.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's worth that much. Yeah. He doesn't have that much.
Anyways, the reason I brought up coronavirus is because I was thinking about it yesterday. Out of everything that I could watch, of course, there's nothing else really going on. I watched NASCAR.
Yeah.
For the first time in a while.
Yeah.
And I realized how weird it was. I didn't think it was that big of a deal for NASCAR to not have fans, but I realized how weird it was without fans.
I didn't.
It's not even like it wasn't during the race because obviously there's so much noise. But like after the race, when he was like, I forgot who won now. But the dude was, I think it was Chase Elliott, possibly.
Good chance he races. So yeah.
He was doing his donuts or whatever at Charlotte. It was the Charlotte 600, and they only raced like 208 laps or something like that.
Chase Elliott.
Yeah. he was doing his little donuts at the end, and usually, you know, the crowd is like, whatever, blah, blah.
It's like,
and he hopped out of the car, and literally, like, it was just silence. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, that's really
I want to know,
awkward.
like, you know how sometimes, like, NASCAR dudes, they'll crash each other. And
they do. I just learned that they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
I did not know that was a thing.
They'll crash one another, and then, like, afterwards, they'll come find him and, like, point him out and just start beating the hell out of him with his helmet. So, I wonder if, like, without fans there, if it's, like, just two dudes fighting on a track.
I wonder if they would still fight.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Is it, like, for the show, or is it for they're actually pissed off?
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of hotheads in NASCAR.
There's probably. I know that I used to watch
rednecks, you know,
relatively often but my guy retired.
Who's your guy?
Carl Edwards.
Dude, I like Carl Edwards.
Every time he won, he did backflip.
Dude, I swear, I was thinking about it the other day. I saw a highlight or something about it, about him, and it kind of surprised me that he retired, because like I was a big Jeff Gordon fan growing up, and obviously he's like in his probably late 40s probably now. I just didn't feel like Carl Edwards was that old to retire. How old
is Carl?
He's 40.
He is 40. Yeah, he's young. People, dude, I still feel like people drive into their 50s, maybe the 60s.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he retired. I think he had back issues. Maybe he was like, if I can't do a backflip when I win, I don't want to race.
I don't want to do it. That's what I do it for.
I met him.
Did you?
Yeah, I met a lot of these people. My dad was the Grand Marshal one time, which was really cool, which means I was on TV. Let me see if I
want to see Hayden on TV. I really want to see it. Have you ever been to a NASCAR race? Like, how many? Well, I guess you have, because you just said.
Yeah,
I've never been to like an actual NASCAR race. Like, I've been to like a sprint cut or whatever the heck they used to call a Busch Series, like a little. I guess, what do you call it? What do you call it when you're not in NASCAR? I guess minor leagues in NASCAR.
Yeah, well.
But they still, some of the big guys still race. I don't understand.
There was they changed the names ever since I stopped watching, but it used to be Sprint Cup was the main one, and then it was one that they did on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Which was just as much, but not as much. Yeah, what it was called.
Gotcha. So, yeah, just it's so weird, because now I feel like we're hearing less and less about coronavirus, and I think that's probably just pretty natural. I really don't think it's going to be as big as a deal anymore, just because I think everybody's gotten over the initial like panic. Everybody's like, I'm back to work and I'm fine. You know, everything's opening back up. Sports leagues are going to start to open back up. I know some soccer leagues, the European soccer leagues, I think are shooting for like June 11.
Disney's opening back up.
Yeah, Disney's opening back up. Just different things like that. And it brings me to a thought of, is it gonna start to be normal where we go to these things and it's just like, if I get it, I get it, kind of like the flu. If I get it, I get it. Or do you think it's not really gonna be something that we can just kind of live with until there's like a vaccine? Who knows?
I think herd immunity is what it's called when basically everybody gets it, and afterwards they become immune, is gonna be a major part of it until vaccines are made. Because there's a good chance that next year it comes back in a different
strain, just like the flu does every year.
So, I mean, it's I imagine, I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Well, see, it's weird, because like I think about, because I know baseball, I think they announced July 4th is their, which is gonna be pretty cool. I think it'll be pretty cool to see baseball come back on the 4th of July. It's gonna be super weird to see how many people are allowed in the stands. I think that's gonna be a sport that's gonna be a real big bummer to me, to not have fans at it. I love baseball down to its core. It's my favorite sport. But I will admit that the atmosphere around baseball sucks when there's nobody watching it.
Sure.
I mean, it's literally, it's a very slow paced game already.
Yeah.
When you don't have that ambient crowd noise, it's awkward. I think there was a game, I forgot what year it was. It was in Baltimore. It
was when those riots were going on.
Yeah, there was a riot in Baltimore, and they didn't let anybody join or go to the game, and it was just the weirdest thing ever. Like, it's just complete silence. You'd hear a crack of the bat, you hear the players talking to each other, but literally, like, I remember a home run being hit, and it was like pow. ball was selling, and you just hear it like crack off the seats,
and you're just
like,
yay,
cool. That's like that one guy, yay, sitting in the stands. But it's weird. I don't know. The biggest thing, which is, this will be an Elijah topic for sure, because he knows a lot about NBA. I don't know anything about NBA really.
This is gonna be an NBA podcast, NBA list podcast for a few weeks.
Yeah. So if you like NBA, I apologize, but like, I know the NBA is, in general, I feel like they're the league that can't ever. There's always drama. It seems like they can't ever figure anything out without some type of opinion. Differentiating opinions. I was on my way over here and I was listening to something, and it was saying that the NBA, the majority of people, or some owners, I think, want to go straight into the playoffs, because I guess it would be around the time of the playoffs, which it does seem like it would be. They want to go straight into the playoffs, but then they're like, they don't even know when they're gonna restart.
There are 30 teams, right, in the NBA?
Yes.
I think yes. When I was listening to the radio,
this is literally how little I know
I was
about.
also hearing this probably the same report, maybe not the same discussion, but the same report, that it's a 16 seed playoff, and if there are 30 teams and you need the majority of the general managers to vote on if they just go straight into the playoffs,
wouldn't half of them vote no?
Well, 16 voted yes, and 14 vote no. It's like,
yeah, so well, it's like, how do you pass that at that point, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, so you're saying that we're going to make playoffs? Good to go.
But the thing is, like, you don't even have that impressive of a record right now, as it stands right now. Like, I follow the Grizzlies very minimal. It's like, it's kind of one of those, like, yeah, I would call myself a Grizzlies fan if somebody asked me. I don't know really a whole lot about them. Yeah. I know the few guys that are like the big guys.
There's a blue grizzly bear as their logo.
He's a normal colored grizzly bear.
No, he's blue.
No,
bro, this grizzly bear's blue.
He's not.
I'm looking it up,
dude. It's a normal color.
No, he's a grizzly. Well,
no, okay.
He's a blue grizzly.
So
bear.
I'm thinking about one logo.
Okay,
there's one logo that he's yes, he is a blue grizzly bear. Okay, like the main logo. For whatever reason, I always think about the old school. Something? Yeah, the mascot. Okay. But then I think about the old school logo, the one that's on the teal color jerseys.
Here.
Well. He's on the pants, I think. It used to be like the Vancouver. Okay. Yeah, see, he's a normal. Okay. That's the one I always think about. That's the one I like the most.
Gotcha.
For whatever reason.
All right, we were both right.
Yeah. Good job, Hayden.
We did it.
I
was more right, though.
Yeah, you were more right. I was pretty adamant that there wasn't a blue grizzly bear, but there was solely a blue grizzly bear. What was I saying about that? But like, I'm pretty sure the Grizzlies were only like a couple games over 500, and they're like in the playoffs.
Oof. So vote yes. Yeah. We want to go.
Yeah. So it's just that kind of thing where it's.
Do you think that they put an asterisk on whoever wins? Like, you won, but like.
I mean, I don't know, because nobody cheated.
Right.
I would totally put an asterisk on the Astros. I mean,
everything's fair. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, they cheated. They straight cheated.
Yeah, you're right, because everything's fair. It's just
nobody had the advantage. You just like had to play well your first 40 games.
Isn't it like 24 NHL teams are going to make the playoffs?
I haven't heard anything about. Dude, I haven't even heard anything about the NHL. Well, I just feel like that stopped, and then they like abolished the NHL, because I haven't heard a dang thing about it.
They're continuing. Yes, 24 teams are going to be in the Stanley Cup playoffs when they start back up. That's the plan right now. Which means that's that like if you're not
2/3 of the league, isn't it?
If you're not in the playoffs, don't you feel like the worst team in the world? You could be like, your team's so bad, you didn't make the 2020 playoffs.
You didn't make a 2014 playoff. Holy cow. It's going to be interesting, because I feel like when sports do come back, especially those sports that should be like pretty much at the end of their season, I think we'll be fine with football, but that's another topic.
Yeah. I really hope that I'm able to go. That's the biggest question right now, is if they're going to allow fans.
Yeah, that's something I want to get into in a second. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's so many different things that differentiate just what happens. And it's just so weird because I just feel like, is that the league office number?
Yeah, I was Googling NHL teams number to see how many there were, and they just put up a phone number for the
league office.
It looks like 31 teams.
Hey, do you want to, one thing I kind of wanted to do, I didn't ask Elijah this in the first place. I kind of just want to call him real fast.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, like, just give us a take.
Just anything?
Yeah.
All right, let's go
any
give him
take.
a call.
All right, I'm gonna call him.
Put him on
fast.
speaker, throw him up on.
Yeah, let me see. If, I hope he answers. That'd be. I don't know. I kind of want to.
I think he'll answer.
We didn't even tell him that we were doing a podcast
it's
today.
True.
So
we didn't talk about it.
We didn't. Yeah. So he's gonna be really shocked. He might be a little mad. Like, come on, guys, what are you gonna do without me? You didn't even ask. Well, you have 2 kids.
Oh no, he'll be all right. Just like, hey, give me any take.
All right.
You got one take? Give it to me.
Here he is. Let's see if he answers real fast.
Hold on, put it. Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Looks like they can.
Come on, Elijah, you guys.
Hello.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're on the set of the SummerTree Sports Podcast right now. We just wanted to get a take from you real fast. Just any take you wanted to. We're doing an episode right now.
Oh, y'all are on the podcast right now?
Yeah, bro, we're doing it right now.
Oh, cool.
Any take you want.
Anything I want.
Yeah. Anything.
Let me think.
It's gotta be the hottest take you got.
Does it have to be on a sport or?
Keep politics out.
Yeah, keep all the Minneapolis stuff out right now.
Don't bring it up, Braden.
Oh yeah. I wasn't gonna talk about that. Okay. I don't care to talk about that right now.
All right.
It just bums me out too much.
Yeah.
My hot take. My take. Is it a hot take or just a take?
Dude, hottest take you got.
Yeah, give me
hottest take I've got. The NBA playoffs this year, whatever format they choose, are going to be the most exciting NBA playoffs of all time.
Most exciting NBA playoffs
we were just talking
of all
about
time.
That.
So we decided that this is going to be a very NBA-less podcast while you're gone because neither of us know enough about it.
Yeah. So no NBA.
Well, that's a good take. We'll go with that take. But we were just literally talking. We can't elaborate on that really because we don't know anything about the NBA.
Okay, well, I'll enlighten you real quick. So there's a couple options.
Yeah.
So the first option is that the teams that are in right now make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second option, and this is all going to be most likely in Disney. Option number 2 is that they do a play-in type system. So like the 8 seed would play like the 12 seed, so on and so forth.
Okay.
And then the last and then the playoffs would just resume as normal. Sorry, there is 4. One thing I've seen is that they could do just a top 16, and
top 6.
So one would play 16, no matter if they're Western Conference or Eastern Conference. 16. So like if it was in the NFL, then it would just be like the top AFC team and the bottom NFC team,
I like that.
Which I think would be interesting.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
And then the last thing I've heard is doing like a group stage, kind of like a World Cup type situation, which is how soccer does it and how basketball does it. And I think that would be the most interesting out of all of them. I don't know how they would split up the groups, maybe based on records. So like a top team, a above average team, an average team, and then like the worst team kind of a thing. I think that would be the most interesting, honestly. I think that would be super exciting. Everybody has a chance to play in, and you might even do it like a group stage and then seed everyone based on pool play, and then technically everyone makes the playoffs. I think that could be super interesting because you've got guys like Klay Thompson who've been out the whole year with an ACL injury that he suffered in the playoffs last year, coming back and potentially making that Warriors team a whole lot better. So I think that would be super cool. I don't think they'll do that.
So the year that the Warriors do terribly,
they're still going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, what they're trying to do is tank, because I think what they're trying to do is, well, obviously they've tanked, and I think that they're going to get a top pick, and I think they'll package that top pick, Andrew Wiggins, and maybe another future first or something for Giannis.
Giannis,
so the
wow.
Warriors definitely don't want to make the playoffs in any capacity.
Okay. That's a good take, Elijah.
But, all right. Well, guys, I'm going to go back to dad duties.
Yeah, enjoy being a dad.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Have fun collecting babies, man.
We'll call you next time for a hot take.
All right, love y'all.
See
Love
you, man.
you. So
that's a good take, man.
So if we want to talk about that, basically, and it matters for the ones that are the higher seeds, but for the rest, the regular season didn't matter at all.
Could you imagine an entire 30 league, like a 30 team playoff where, how would you do that? Would you have to do it like a single LM, kind of like play one game?
Well, that's what they
between the highest seeds
for March Madness, right? Like,
yeah. So it'd basically be a March Madness like tournament, which would be awesome. I mean, I think
you
it would
could
be
do brackets and
but then I feel like you would have so many people, especially how controversial I feel like the NBA is. So many people be like, well, that's not fair. We only got one game. Well, you know, it's not fair. We didn't get an entire season. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man.
That's what I love about the NFL. Every game, almost every single game matters because obviously towards the end when the seeds are kind of figured out.
Yeah.
But if you're like in week 15 and you've won 8 games, like that's like you got to start winning. These games matter.
See, that's why I think there's a little bit more leeway in the NFL as far as all that goes. Like you can lose 5 games and at 11-5, and you can be like, hey, we're a Super Bowl favorite still. Like depending on how you played, you know, in those 11 games that you won or the 5 games that you lost. Say if you blew out your 11 wins and only lost by like a point in your 5 losses, somebody'd be like, hey, they're favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With like college football, that's where it scares the mess out of me because you lose like 2 games or one game, really you're like playoffs are over for you.
With
you know what I mean?
Ranking system.
So we saw that like with Alabama this past year. This was the first time in I think 3 or 4 years that Alabama hadn't been in that playoff since it began, and I think they still could have went in there and won the thing.
Sure.
You know, if of course they didn't have Tua, he went down, so they had a backup and Matt Jones, I believe, and kind of derailed, I think, the committee's confidence with them being in the playoffs. I think that's why they didn't make it. I think LSU absolutely deserved to be in. It was hard for me to say that Oklahoma deserved to be in after they pretty much got like demolished by LSU by like it was like 40 something 50 something to 7 I believe at halftime. But there's just so many crazy things especially happening right now that nobody knows what's going to happen, but I guarantee you it's going to probably be some of the most exciting playoff systems that we'll see. And maybe it'll change the future of how they do playoffs.
That's what I'm wondering is how much, and this just goes for a lot of stuff in life, like how much things are going to change, like how you're eating, how eating out is going to be different, how going to movies is going to be different. That's the one thing I really miss the most. So a lot of people are missing sports, but I only really watch 1 or 2. But movies, man, I miss it. I
know this is like a sports podcast, but there's certain things right now that it would be interesting to talk about.
Go for it.
I'm not really going to get too far into it, but like it's crazy how much your everyday life has just absolutely changed.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a haircut for a week. Okay?
Yeah.
My work has parameters of like, hey, you got to keep your hair this certain length, you know.
He's a fire guy.
Whatever.
He's a fire guy.
So today I went. A couple days ago, I go through Great Clips because I don't like dealing with the barbershops around here anymore because they're way too popular. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to Great Clips, whatever. So I sign in the other day. I think it was like 4 days ago. Sign in. I get there. They're like, oh, it's still like a 90-minute wait. When you sign in, you're supposed to be like front of the line. Like no matter how many people are sitting there, if you signed in, you're supposed to be like front of the line, get your hair cut and go. So today it was like 10:45. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, sign in to get my hair cut. It said 93 minutes or something like that. So I was like, all right, 12:15, I'll just kind of go down there and, you know, get my hair cut, come back, whatever, be over with. I come to the door and there's this old dude in front of me and he is just raising Cain that he was there 30 minutes ago, and then he came back and they still said 30 minutes. And I understand there's a certain there's just a different territory right now. There was people lined up. They had a table at the front door, like to sign you in instead of letting you go to the counter. It's crazy. Yeah. The girl looked so flustered. I felt bad for her. Yeah. And she was like, "Hey, did you sign in?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I told her my name, and she's like, "Oh, well," she's like, "Unfortunately, it's still gonna be like 74 minutes." It's been like an hour.
And then
it's been
you raised hell.
It's almost been 2 hours, since I signed in. I was like, it's okay, So, Elijah, if you're watching this, I might come back for you for a haircut.
I was gonna say, you can go to my sister. She'll give you the Hayden special.
Dude, I'm at the point where just to buzz it off. There's just different things.
Since then,
so the other day, me and Sarah my wife, we tried to go get food. We wanted pizza really bad. Yeah. We went to 5 restaurants. There was just different things happening. Wait times, couldn't get us in. Like the upstairs where they sell the pizza, or like where they make pizza in that restaurant, and this one particular restaurant wasn't open. We settled on Chinese food, which I wasn't really mad about.
Yeah. Hong Kong. Chinese food.
Yeah, Hong Kong wok. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the podcast in, ladies and gentlemen.
Mall Chinese food. But yeah, there's just man, these times are weird, and I don't want to. People are like, "Oh, this is our new normal." I don't want to accept it as my new normal.
I don't think it's the new normal, but there is going to be a new normal. Yeah.
I don't think it to an extreme of how things are right now are going to be the normal, but yeah, you're right. There's going to be a new normal. Mm-hmm. But
the public transport system in New York, I feel like that's going to get overhauled. Because
it just seems
like everybody's on subways and buses, and that's why it was so bad. Keeping politics out of it, that's why New York was so bad, is because everybody's stacked up on top of each other. Yeah. And I have a feeling that I wonder if there's going to be any sort of like almost mass migration into suburbs area. More spread out a little bit than urban areas.
I actually saw an article about that. I think literally yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like more people or suburbs, are going to see an increase of people moving into them.
Well, I think that also nursing homes. People are just going to have their parents live with them instead of going to nursing homes.
I don't think I want my parents going to a nursing home. Yeah. Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this, you're not going to go to a nursing home.
I only want my parents to go to a nursing home so I can get their house. Said, soon as you're of age, I'm putting you in a home, Dad.
Poor Gary. Poor Gary. I did see, so back to some sports topics. So I saw where Texas, I guess some Texas legislator or governor, maybe there's a governor, I don't know. Somebody basically said that sports in Texas you're going to be able to attend sporting events in Texas at 25% capacity, stadium capacity.
Man, who gets dibs on that? Whoever pays for it?
I guess first come, first serve. But my question is that independent leagues? Like, does that mean like, you can go to your kids' sports games at 25% capacity, or is that like,
dang, dude,
or is that like, a smaller like non-executive league at 25? Because I feel like if you're say the NFL comes and they in Texas, and we still haven't figured out a whole capacity thing yet with the NFL, and say the 49 other states you cannot attend. There's a game at NRG Stadium, the Texans. Okay.
Yeah. People from all over.
Right. Everybody's going to want to get those tickets. Is that something that the NFL is going to keep in place? Says, hey, our other 32 teams or 31 teams can't have people there at all, so you guys can't, or we're going to let you follow under your legislative orders and say you can 25% of the capacity can be filled up in the stadium.
I feel like whatever makes money. I think the NFL would. I think
there would be too many gripes from the other team, and I know there's politics involved in all of that particular decision. Mm-hmm. But does a corporation, like does a big corporation like the NHL, the MLB, the NFL, minor league baseball, even, did they continue with their widespread rule of like they say nobody can attend games, or when states start rolling out, well, we can have 50% capacity, 25% capacity.
Yeah.
Do those big leagues basically adhere to those states' guidelines, or do they kind of fall back in their own?
I think we can take an example that exists today in marijuana, right?
Mm-hmm.
For it's been legalized, decriminalized in many states, and then the NFL this year finally said you're not going to get suspended for testing positive for. Yeah. So I think that's an example that exists today and now, that you can go based off of the state. So
okay.
So like, say for your example, only Texas or southern states, whatever, allow for people to come to games. I think that the NFL is going to say, hey, it's up to the owner's discretion to make that decision. Huh. And then they'll say, well, we'll have guidelines, like maybe they'll put up there like 30% is far high as you can go or something.
See, as a fan, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I know you're nervous because you have season tickets to the Titans.
I want to go so bad.
Man,
okay, first disclaimer, my parents have season tickets.
Anyways, you get to go regardless.
Usually.
How, like, man, it just makes me so nervous because I'm looking so much forward to it. Yeah. Me and my wife, I'm a big Tennessee fan. She's kind of gotten dragged into it. I still don't know if she likes going. She likes going to the games. I don't know if she necessarily.
She loves you.
Yeah. Anyways, we go to the Tennessee Vanderbilt game every year, football game. Granted, that's at the end of the year. It's like this November. It's the game right after Thanksgiving, November 27th.
In Nashville, typically.
Both. We go to Neyland, and because this year it's at Vanderbilt, which I kind of like sometimes because I'm like, I don't have to drive to Knoxville. Yeah. But I love going to the games in Knoxville just because the atmosphere is way better. But that scares me because I normally buy the tickets like right before the college football season starts because they're typically a little cheaper right at the beginning. And so I'm like, do I buy these tickets this year? Do I not? I know there's going to be a season. So I know the college football, at least to my knowledge, some teams, some conferences have had the go ahead and start. I guess technically it wouldn't be spring practice anymore. But basically team oriented workouts, stuff that was absolutely not allowed, just a couple weeks ago, which is a good sign that things are going to start back up. But that makes me nervous about, at what point are we going to get to this stage where we can feel okay as fans to be like, I'm gonna buy this ticket. I'm gonna ask off for work. This particular time.
I was kind of based on what you were saying earlier that say Texas is at 25% capacity for sporting events. I wonder if because you know how huge football is in Texas, high school football.
Yeah. High school football.
Think about these small towns where that's all they have, where everybody goes and they fill up a.
What happens if all of them go?
Well, see, that's when no one's gonna stop them, right? Like the cops are like,
what are you gonna do? Arrest
they're
all of them?
Part of the community, and they're not gonna be like, you can't come in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what we are? Gosh, there's so many things that I want to say that I feel like could easily go down like a political hole that I don't want to go down.
Yeah.
Just because everything that's going on right now, and it's sad.
So in case anyone's here, this was recorded on May 29th, and so just look up May 29th news, and you'll see that there's just a lot going on.
I just feel like, at that, you're right. At what point are they gonna force all these people to be like, no, you can't come in? Like, what are they gonna do? Put state police at the front of a stadium and start a riot
every Friday night,
right?
Where hundreds of
high school kids are rambunctious anyways
in towns and cities.
You do that to a college stadium, no. It's not gonna be good.
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's so many questions. And it's crazy. I don't know, man. This time it's just crazy. There's no telling what's going to happen. Hopefully we never see anything like this again. I mean, I know odds are we will. Odds are we're not even near being done with all of this.
Based on everything that's happening right now, things probably going to get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's kind of all we'll say about that.
Yeah. I do want to talk. This is something I've been wanting to say for like weeks. So the last podcast we had at the very end, I was talking about having this dream.
Tell me about your dream.
And it makes me so mad. And if you know, well, I guess probably nobody knows this story outside of like me, you, and Elijah's circle, or like just literally probably us three. But me and Elijah, we I guess worked / interns / whatever we did for CBS Sports our last year of college, I believe, in 2015, 2016. Butch Jones was the coach at Tennessee at the time.
So there you go. There's your reference.
Oh man. And
gosh dang it, Butch Jones.
So we were on the way back, and this is at this point I've seen I think 3 blown leads. 2 of them was Oklahoma, I believe. Of course, there was a 4th and 18 blown against Florida that just still haunts me. I was coming back from, I believe it was Jacksonville.
Sounds about right.
I think it was Jacksonville. It was the Alabama LSU. Oh, was it? I can't remember what game was being played in
Probably doesn't matter
that year. Anyways, we were coming back, and Tennessee was playing South Carolina, and we had a lead. I forgot how big the lead was, but I know it was more than a touchdown. And I was listening to it on the radio, and I think I was on Snapchat. Wouldn't advise you doing that while driving, but I was bored, and it was a long drive home. And I was listening to it on the radio, and Tennessee choked up the game, and we lost. And I sent this very angry Snapchat to Hayden and Elijah, just screaming, "Gosh dang it, Butch Jones!" When it was a little bit more colorful than that, I think.
It's a meme between us where anything, remember the old meme that was like something really inconvenient happens and you go, thanks Obama. It's the same thing. So we go, God dang it, Butch Jones.
Dang it, Butch Jones. Anyways, going to my dream. So the other night I had this dream, man, and I feel like there was 2 dreams that seeped into one because it didn't make sense, but like I was able to pull the sensible side away and like remember that. For whatever reason, I was I think either like a player personnel person for Tennessee or like a recruiter or something. But there was also like a monster that I was like protecting all these people from at the same time, which that doesn't matter. I just threw that part of the thing out because I was like, maybe that was just like a leak in, whatever.
Yeah, monsters were there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I've got all these kids, man. I've got all these dudes that have like, oh yeah, we're coming to, but it was the weirdest thing. It was like a cafeteria style thing. Remember in high school or like middle school where you were sitting in a lunchroom and you were kind of like divided by like classrooms?
Yeah.
You couldn't just like sit
wherever you wanted, yeah.
So
it's dumb.
Yeah, which was super dumb.
Yeah.
We were like in this like cafeteria, literally like a cafeteria in my dream. And there was like different teams tables, right? And I had my guys, Tennessee guys, at this table, and I'm like, well, we're hyping them up. Yeah, we're all coming to Tennessee, blah blah blah. I'm like, y'all ready to meet Coach? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Jeremy Pruitt's gonna walk out of here and it's gonna be great.
Oh no,
no, dude! When I tell you, I turned around and I looked. And it was Butch Jones's red-headed tomato face, man.
Was he already mad?
He was. He wasn't mad. He was smiling, but I think it was the menacing smile. He was looking straight in my eyes, I feel like. And this, like, it was just tomato red face coming out. And I instantly woke up and I was pissed. Like, yes, I was so mad, man. And oh man, I feel like I have so many random like sports dreams like that. You don't have any sports dreams that you
I can't remember. All of my dreams often involve my friends, including my roommate. Like my most recent one that I can remember, my roommate, who's has a thin girlfriend, normal size. I had a dream she was just fat. Also, she's fat now, and I was like, okay, you're fat. What happened there?
That makes sense.
And that's about the last dream. That was like last night.
I don't know. I had to get that out because like I was just so frustrated. Because if you don't know, my hate for Butch Jones is like It's like up there, you know. There's a lot of people that I like say I dislike in sports, but I actually really like it when it comes down to their person.
If you were to meet Butch Jones, like, would you not shake his hand?
I don't know. Like, the part of me would be like, I'm gonna be nice, you know, a decent human being.
Like I hate. Well, not so much anymore, but last year, say a year ago, he had asked me like, if you were to meet DeAndre Hopkins.
when he was on the Texans.
When he was on the Texans, what would I do? And I probably wouldn't do anything.
He went to Arizona, right?
Yeah, he went to Arizona. So now he's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
You
do have that. You do have that. Like, Hayden has a very strong hate for like AFC South anything. So like literally, like, Marcus Mariota was Hayden's favorite person in the world.
Yeah,
still
is because he went to the Raiders, who are my second favorite team. Yeah. So,
but like Hayden could wanted to be in a relationship with Marcus Mariota. Okay, that's how much his love was.
One time I was eating dinner and he walked in and I saw his leg sitting outside of the booth.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, that's a nice leg. That's a true story. I was eating at a restaurant and Marcus Mariota walked in, and we were celebrating somebody's birthday. You didn't
have your phone,
so I didn't bring my phone in.
You didn't get a picture or nothing.
Nothing.
Would you have actually bothered him?
I wouldn't have bothered him for sure. I might have been like, hey, look, that's Marcus Mariota's leg.
Would you have tried to snap an obvious pic, or would you have been like over the table, like camera like halfway, like just kind of reaching over the table? There was a point
where I think he was with his family because there were a bunch of Hawaiians.
He was with his girlfriend, right, too?
Maybe.
Oh, what a cute guy.
Yeah, but it was like, I think it was for sure his parents and some other people, and it was an Asian kind of fancy restaurant. One of the ones, I think, where you like put your meat on the hot stone, you know, and then it cooks it. I think that's what it was. He came in and I'm like looking at the menu, and then my sister Kylie, who's like the least sports person in our family, she's like, so I don't want to freak anyone out, but I'm like 90% sure Marcus Mariota just walked in. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, I don't have my phone. Guys, I don't have my phone. And then my other sister, she went to the bathroom just to walk by him.
Yeah.
And then she came back and she like tried to snap a photo when she was doing it. But she sucked at it and didn't get the photo at all.
I feel like if you're just gonna do it, you just got like, I feel like it would just be more inconspicuous just to be like and just do it, you know?
Yeah, but he like stop in front of the bathroom and be like, oh hey Marcus. I don't know. But like, so the whole time I'm like,
or just go up to Marcus and be like, Marcus.
I finally like saw him and I'm like, oh my god, that is Marcus. And so like he was sitting in the same seat I was, just like 3 booths over, and I could see his leg. And it was pretty good. And then like, the whole night I'm like eating and I'm like waiting for him to walk by, and then finally he like
Marcus.
finally he gets up to
you just want to touch him
to leave, and he zoomed out. I don't know.
He was like, I ain't talking to nobody. I don't know
if like it just is something he does.
Was it after a loss?
Fans? Probably. It might have been. It was a 9-7 season, so there's like a 40% chance that it was a loss. Yeah. But yeah, he just like zoomed out. He was out of there. And then his family were like, "Oh, those such a nice meal." And they're all nice and happy and floating on out of the restaurant. I'm like, wow. He didn't want
to have to stop and take pictures or anything with anybody.
I mean, it wasn't like busy enough where people were gonna be like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But
he probably gets that enough
straight out.
I feel like as a celebrity, I would get so tired of going anywhere.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I don't want to stop and talk to him. You know, you want to be a decent person. Anyways, what I was saying,
yeah, before I fawned over Marcus,
like Marcus was Hayden's favorite person. He could have went to the Jaguars, and Marcus would have been public enemy number 1.
Yeah,
hated everything about him.
I would have been, if he'd have gone, I'd never forgiven him ever.
But that's just like, that's you. Like, you're like JJ Watt. You're like, freaking JJ Watt's a piece of crap. Blah blah blah.
He sucks.
But like, he can come to the Titans. What would you say if he came to the Titans?
Oh, I mean, if he came to redeem himself, like Andre Johnson, salt of the earth. Love Andre Johnson.
Salt of the earth.
He went to the Texans, boo. He went to the Colts, boo. Came to the Titans, help us win against the Lions.
Randy Moss,
awesome.
Randy Moss, greatest Titan of all time.
Randy Moss, greatest Titan of all time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you come here, you come
family.
You become a family. You're part of the family. So like, there's not actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of our guys don't go to rivals. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that?
Is there? So I'm really like, I love sports. I'm not really big into like the intricacies of trades and different things like that. I'm just like, I know about like what's going on, like just especially college football. Like, I can tell you anything that happens in college football, whatever. But is there like a rule in NFL where, I know the MLB kind of has this thing where they can't really trade. It's kind of, I think it might be even an unwritten rule where it's kind of like you don't really trade interleagues or like in within the division.
You
like,
absolutely can. It just doesn't happen a lot because you don't want to benefit your own. You don't want to benefit a rival.
Yeah,
but it does happen every now and then. Like right now, Yannick Ngakoue was an edge rusher for the Jaguars. Like, we could use edge rush, but say it's going to cost just straight up a first round pick, whatever. Yeah. And then the Jets offer a first round pick.
Yeah.
And if we ever wanted to like have anything, say that it would take like 2 first. Just because, like, they're like, we're not going to help you out, you know, when we can get just the same thing for not helping you out.
Right.
But it happens. A lot of late round draft picks kind of happen and flip a lot. Not a lot of blockbuster stuff.
Yeah, that's completely understandable too.
Yeah, but as far as I know, there's no rule.
I don't know. That's I don't know. I'm just at this point. We gotta get back to sports. I watched NASCAR for the other day. Like, that's where I'm at.
NASCAR.
That's where I'm at. And it's not a bad sport. I don't want to poo on anybody that likes NASCAR, but you know, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, I don't have a favorite driver, so I don't really care about NASCAR right now. You need a favorite driver, and you watch him go in a circle, and you're like, "Oh, pass him," and you're like, 10 laps later, oh, we passed another one. And they're like, oh, he's going back, and I lost. Okay, because there's 50 drivers. Like, you know,
there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah, there's 50 drivers, and only one of them wins. So
I just hate, man. This is just such a slow sports time, and there's so many things I remember last year that we like wanted to talk about that we couldn't talk about because we didn't have enough time. And right now, it's just like, it's coronavirus news.
Yeah.
The league's opening back up. Ooh. Hopefully it'll happen. You know, whatever. We'll see. But
let's go to the top of NFL subreddit.
Yeah.
Just to see if anything popped up.
Yeah. One last little topic here.
With the distribution position. Ooh, Matt Judon, who is defensive end linebacker. He wants to be paid defensive end numbered, but they listed him as a linebacker. Well, they split it. They said, we're going to give you
That's exciting.
money between defensive end lives or whatever.
That's so exciting.
Otherwise, Aldon Smith might be coming back. Eli Apple got signed. His crazy mom. You know about Eli Apple's mom? Yeah. He's got signed.
One thing I did see that was pretty cool. Just our number one fan bought a house for his mom.
Oh yeah. Kevin Byard did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice house.
He's a good guy.
It's good stuff. I like Kevin.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Doesn't look like anything's going on.
Yeah. Man, soccer's coming back June 11th. NASCAR's back. MLB's back July 4th. Hopefully NFL and CFB, college football, will not be affected.
I hope. I at least think they're going to play.
Yeah, that's pretty much our topics today. I feel like, man, there's so much hope, so much unknown, and I'm nervous about it all. I just want to be able to attend. But otherwise, that'll do it for us today, man. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we usually go an hour. We're 10 minutes short of that, but I got some Chinese food that I want to eat, so
it's
I'm okay
cold. Man, Elijah, we hope you're back. We hope you're having fun with little Maddie Lou. We can't wait to see her. But we miss you.
Yep, I got a present for her.
Yeah,
it's really for them. Something they asked.
What is it? He's not gonna listen to this. Let's be real.
If he makes it this far, it's they put it on their like baby registry thing, and it's a if you want to go shopping, it's a basket.
Ooh, like a basket cover seat
that you put the baby in.
It's like an insert. It's like a cup holder insert.
It just lays in there while you're shopping.
All right. Well, anyway, that's gonna do it for the SummerTree Sports podcast.
Hayden's Iowa Hawkeye update of the week. There is no Hayden's Iowa
there is no
update of the week. All right. Peace out, everyone.
That'll do it. We'll see you next week.